Up, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome again to another episode of Ash Chat Podcast with the Alma de Hombre Society. How is everyone doing out there? We are doing well, at least I hope so. I am your host, one of your hosts, David Brown. With me, I have Fulch, Cappy, the other Dave, and our very special esteemed guest, Mr. Bill. Not that Mr. Bill, this other Mr. Bill. We'll get more into that in a little bit. Gentlemen, how are we doing thus far this evening?
Just peachy.
Awesome.
Beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Awesome. Well, it's great to see all of you. So why don't we just jump right into it? Bill, welcome. Thank you for joining us on the podcast today.
Great to be here.
Bill, why don't you give us a little bit of an introduction on yourself? We are at Mickey Blake's, as always. Not as always, at least as always for now.
Right.
We will be doing some remote podcasts and all that kind of stuff. But right now we are at our home base at Mickey Blake's in Orange. Beautiful establishment. We took over the poker table here. But Bill, give us a little bit of introduction.
Thanks, Dave. Well, I just want to say I've been a cigar smoker now for 43 years, believe it or not.
Wow.
Yeah. Started when I was 18 years old. I worked at an old department store called Caldor. Back in the day when I was 18, paid for my college when I was going to school, and I was the manager of their tobacco. And back in the day,
Caldor's did tobacco.
a lot.
Holy
No
crap.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow.
They had the whole front area of the store. There was a huge glass case full of cigars, then all the pipe tobacco, all the machine-made cigars,
Wow.
all the hand-rolled cigars. It was a big deal
Damn.
back in 1981.
Sound so.
Yeah.
And it was a, big sales point for the store.
Wow.
Awesome. So we're gonna get into the entire history and your I don't want to say maybe your provenance in a little bit, but what are you doing today?
Today, I am the manager here at Mickey Blake Cigars in Orange. If you haven't checked it out, you have to come here. We have a huge lounge, huge selection of cigars. We're the only TAA cigar dealer in Connecticut. And all these guys know, I bring in whatever I think is good, whatever they're going to like, whatever I'm going to like. That doesn't hurt. But
For those that don't know, could you just give us a little background on TAA?
TAA is the Tobacconist Association of America. I believe there's only 80 TAA retailers in the whole country.
Oh, no kidding.
And they come out with a unique blend. Some manufacturers, I think there's 40, well, maybe a little less, total manufacturers who create a TAA cigar every year. And they're exclusive to the TAA members. So we're one of them, which is great. We get exclusive TAA cigars here. And these guys know, they've probably tried them all. But most of them are amazing.
Yeah. Definitely good stuff.
Yeah, for sure. And I will say, I mean, I've walked in here many times, and you're just like, "Hey, we got this one. Try this out." And you've never steered me wrong. So,
again, for those that are listening, I would say that when you visit Mickey Blake's, if Bill's working, which is most of the time,
Dave, just pull your mic in a little closer for me.
Yeah, don't hesitate to ask questions, because Bill, if he hasn't smoked it, he knows a little bit about it, can tell you, and he'll ask a lot of questions of you to see, what you have smoked and try to pair you and put you into a cigar that you'll really enjoy. Wealth of knowledge. I know I've learned a lot, from Bill, and still ask a lot of questions after, smoking for 6-7 years now. So
Yeah, definitely pick his brain.
So speaking of smoking, our little tradition is whoever our esteemed guest is picks a cigar and a beverage if they so choose. What'd you pick out for us?
The cigar I picked today is the My Father, the Judge, and I've always been intrigued with Don Pepin Garcia. He started his tobacco business in Cali Ocho in Miami back in 2003.
Oh, nice.
When he was one of the top rollers in Cuba when he was 15 years old.
Damn.
Oh shit!
Wow.
So when he came to the U.S., he wanted to stay as a cigar roller, create really good cigars, and he did an amazing job down in Miami. In 2003, he opened his shop with just a few rollers, and the people who went in there, I mean, different people who made cigars, thought he was going to be the next big thing. And his cigar that he was rolling there was called the El Rey de los Habanos. And fortunately, back in the early 2000s, I got to try them before he went real big and opened his factory in Nicaragua. But his son, Jaime, and his daughter, Yanni, have all been part of the business since then. And they just have a huge, huge factory in Nicaragua now.
Nice.
Nice.
For those who don't know about it. But everybody was so impressed by his cigar blending, the Nicaraguan tobacco he used, including myself. I mean, I knew that something big was going to happen.
Awesome.
Good deal.
Very cool. So while we cut this up and get a light and start smoking, what made you pick this cigar for us to smoke today?
Just because I've been a fan of all his cigars throughout the years, and this is one of my top favorites that he blends now. This is a Nicaraguan filler binder and an Ecuadorian Sumatra wrapper. Very well balanced, very complex, medium to full bodied, very tasty cigar.
Awesome! I can't wait to get into this. I've smoked the Judge before. I'm a huge fan of My Father. Actually, right before we started, I grabbed one of the Fonsecas, the Mexican edition.
Yeah, the new Mexican Fonseca.
Yeah, you told me it was going to be good, and it was damn good. So I love My Father. They're a great line. I don't think I've had a bad one from them, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I love this smoke.
Definitely.
I think we're gonna have to go over there and bash Easy over the head.
Yeah, like we said, we are in the lounge. It is a members lounge. There's people here, and you can hear them in the background. That's just part of the fun we have. And Bill gets to babysit everyone.
Yeah. Adult daycare.
Yeah. Da-da-da-da-da.
A cigar lounge is a lot like adult daycare. I mean,
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
it's pretty much somewhere for grown men to go and hang out and act like children and
Bill, let me
respectful.
ask you a question. Obviously, you've been in the cigar business for a very, very long time. What kind of major changes have you seen over not even the last 10 years, but I mean, just from when you started it there? I mean, give me some thoughts that you've seen positive and negative in the cigar industry.
Well, the changes have been huge. There's so many people trying to come out with a new cigar, a new blend. There's so many manufacturers now. The market is flooded with cigars. Everybody every year is trying to come out with something new and different. A lot of them succeed. I'd say 70% of them don't. But going back in the day, back in the 90s when the cigar boom happened, it was so difficult to find a good cigar.
Why's that?
It was the market, there was too much demand. So people were trying to rush things out. The cigar quality went downhill. The tobacco wasn't aged long enough.
Gotcha.
I remember back in, I think it was 1997, right after Cigar Aficionado started publishing. It was so difficult to find anything that was decent. I remember being happy finding a box of Punch Rothschilds That today, what a difference.
Yeah. There's anything wrong with punch. You like punch, you like punch.
Yeah. So that was kind of weird when all that happened. But then late 90s, early 2000s, things started to change. And I think Don Pepin, like I said, was one of the innovators. And once that happened, Nicaragua is so big now with factories. AJ Fernandez.
Oh, yeah. Get Drew Estates down there.
Drew Estate. You name it. Nick Melillo from Foundation.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And the quality now is top of the line. You can't complain.
No, it's hard to find a bad cigar, bad premium cigar.
Right.
You can find bad cigars, obviously, if you shop in a gas station and stuff like that. But you walk into a proper cigar shop and it's hard to find a bad cigar.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's true.
So starting at Caldor,
Yep.
in the tobacco section of Caldor, which just sounds weird to say.
Yeah.
Where'd you go from there? How did you end up here? Give me a little bit of the history.
When I started smoking, I was smoking Evermores, a machine-made, mostly Connecticut tobacco cigar. And going back that far, I moved through the industry. I was offered a job with Camacho as a sales rep years back, but I didn't really want to be on the road that long. And right after, lucky for me, Davidoff took them over. And that job was eliminated. But I moved from there to a big tobacco cigar lounge in New Haven, Connecticut, where I worked for 11 and a half years. And I still want to say that when I started there, I started bringing in all the good Nicaraguan stuff. Like in 2006, my father, Don Pepin, came out with the Cuban Classic.
Yep.
Which was amazing. And back in the day, that was my favorite cigar. From there, he came out with some other great blends. Tobacco's Baez, which is the name of his whole hometown in Cuba.
Okay.
That was a great cigar. And in 2010, he came out with the My Father limited edition, which was off the charts. Him and his son Jaime rolled every single cigar from that limited edition.
Oh, no kidding.
2010s.
That's impressive.
That is.
And I hate to say it, but I smoked the last one last week.
Oh.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Incredible. And it was still just as amazing.
Just aged from that initial.
2010. Yeah.
14 years later.
Wow.
Yeah. Shit.
Yep.
Wow.
That's awesome. To know that, a cigar of that caliber is going to last that long.
Yeah.
Obviously, properly kept and all that kind of stuff. It
was just as good as the day it was released.
No kidding.
Yep.
That's a beautiful thing.
Awesome. So when did you come here to Mickey's?
October 2020.
Okay.
So I've been here almost 4 years now.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yep. At our old location, which was down the street. I started there back in October 2020. And then we moved here in January of 2021.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been here almost 4 years now.
Goes by fast.
3.5. Yeah. Doesn't seem it.
Hell yeah, time flies.
Wow. So how was that period of time, that 2020 to 2021? Because we were still dealing with some COVID shit. We were still kind of. How did that affect things?
It was rough, but people still wanted to smoke cigars, which was a good thing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was, we had a smaller humidor back then. Didn't have as large a selection as we have now, but now we just have so much good stuff here.
Yeah. I would definitely say that. Yeah, it's interesting you say that. It was a little rough, but people still wanted to smoke cigars because it kind of likens to the alcohol industry in that way, right? Where if things are good, people want to drink. If things are bad, people want to drink.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same shit.
It's true.
Kind of the same shit. Speaking of drinking, you can tell on video we started pouring something. This was also Bill's choice. What'd you bring for us?
This is Heaven Hill 7-year bottled and bond bourbon. I chose a Heaven Hill distillery because I'm so impressed with the stuff they've put out over the years.
Oh yeah.
They started in 1925 outside of Louisville, and it's the oldest family-owned bourbon distillery in the United States
Nice.
to this day. And the thing that the bourbon that I loved the most from them was the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof. Back in the day, it was very first bourbon that was kind of hard to get. We're talking probably 2014, 2015. But the story about the Heaven Hill bottled and bond, they were making it in shitty looking bottles. They were square, short bottles with a shitty label on them. And they were 6 years old. And sold for $15 a bottle.
Wow.
Yeah.
You get $15
So-
more now.
So in 2019,
My time machine.
they started aging it another year longer, putting it in a nice looking bottle, and raised the price $35. But here in Connecticut, you can't. It's still difficult to find here in Connecticut. Now it goes for like minimum $50 here. Should be
Yeah.
$45, but retail.
Mhm.
But Connecticut's rough.
At least.
That's yeah.
And
If you can find it for 50
yeah,
or
49,
55, it's well worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The range.
Yeah.
But in that range, this is a solid,
Oh, yeah.
solid.
It's a
bourbon.
great pour.
I mean,
Okay.
you
I'm
can't go,
stoked to take a sip.
can't go wrong with this one. It's,
Cheers, guys.
So
Look forward to
Salute.
it each and every time. Of
Salute.
course, I think
Little
say
little
the
sweetness
bottle.
right off the bit.
yep. Easy drink.
Sweet caramel, vanilla.
Yep.
Little bit of heat on the back end, but not much. Just enough
Yeah.
to know you're drinking something.
More like a warm hug. It's
Hey,
like,
I like that. I like
I'm
that.
here.
Warm hug.
I'm here
Yeah.
for you.
I like that.
Cappy's in the mood tonight. I'm glad I'm not sitting next to him.
Don't cry.
Richie's glad he is.
Hi.
Don't be jealous.
Hand check.
It's my brother, man. My brother.
Yeah.
It pairs really well.
It does.
Yeah.
It does. The sweetness really balances out the.
You do a little testing beforehand, Bill, to make sure it paired up nice.
No, Bill.
No, I didn't.
No.
But I knew it would.
Bill, just to give some of the
Mm.
people that are maybe you're listening for the first time or following this podcast here at Mickey Blake's, how many, maybe by a guess, but how many different cigars and how many sticks does Mickey Blake's carry?
That's
Hard
very
to say.
tough question. We're talking thousands.
Because
You
it
know.
rotates as well. There's stuff
Yeah.
that comes in, stuff that comes out.
Oh, yep.
So
Mm.
it's a living inventory, as they would say.
Well, it's definitely
Yeah, we
refreshing.
have
Yeah.
something for everyone. Put it that way.
Yeah, that's a definite.
So I got a question for you, Bill. As a man who's smoked just about everything, is there anything out there that you wanted to get your hands on? Because it's something that we talked about before.
Yeah,
on the last show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there like a unicorn out there, or you kind of settled in that,
I want more 2010 My Father. If you can find any, let me know.
if you're listening, if you're Jaime Garcia, are you listening?
Yeah.
you take donations?
No, not really. I just look forward to the new stuff that comes in.
Okay.
Trying it. One of my favorite right now is El Pupo
Oh, yeah.
by Artesano del Tobacco.
That is a
and
good one.
That is
AJ
cool.
Fernandez. That cigar took 5 years for them to come up with a blend and get it right. That cigar is amazing.
Yeah,
if
it's-
you haven't
San
tried it.
Andreas wrapper, man.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That is
so good.
Time well spent, for real.
And you said they're working on a new project too, right, Bill?
Yeah, They're doing I forget what it's called. The it's a short, fat cigar. I forget the name of it though.
You
But
told me the other day. I
coming
can't
out,
remember.
yeah, I don't either. But my buddy Brad from AJ Fernandez, he's a sales rep. Brad Siderer here in Connecticut. He does the whole Northeast or New York and Pennsylvania. But he came up with the name.
Oh,
Which is
did
so
he?
funny, yeah.
Oh, no
How
kidding.
cool is
And
that?
he told them they need to make a cigar this size and what the blend would be, and they came out with it.
See,
Wow.
But I can't wait till it's out.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, that'll
Yeah.
be a good thing.
that'd definitely be good. They definitely knocked it out the park with that Culebra.
Yeah, the
Oh
Culebra,
yeah,
man.
yeah.
As soon as it came in, Bill said, "Check this out," and I'm like, "Wow,
Yeah, those are nice.
Yes.
yeah, they're doing good things." So,
Yeah, they're a newer company. They were the owners of cigar shop in New York City. Two brothers, Billy and Gus.
Okay,
Hopefully we could get them here on the show.
That'd be great.
that'd be
Brad.
awesome.
And another person is Chris Topper, who owns the oldest family cigar business in the U.S. He just came out with a new cigar, the 1894.
Which is a
Yeah,
good
they were just
cigar.
here.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's a great cigar.
Yeah, that was
I
a
give him
really
a
nice-
lot of
Yeah.
credit for putting the work in on that. That's got a Cuban seed, Havana seed, grown in Connecticut wrapper on it,
Mm.
and Dominican and some USA filler in
Okay.
that cigar.
Which is interesting because I think we're going to have them on the show too because we were talking to them when they were here for the event here.
Yeah.
And then we'll let them get into it a little bit more. But that's interesting, dude. Like, you're seeing a lot less of Connecticut grown Connecticut.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of it's Pennsylvania grown or Nicaraguan grown.
Yeah.
Or
More and more because there's
there's less and less of it.
scarce.
Yeah.
But Connecticut broadleaf is still one of my favorite wrappers.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good.
Yeah,
For sure.
That and the San Andreas are my two favorites to go to.
yeah, both of them. You know it when you smoke it.
Million
You know,
percent.
It's a flavor profile. It just is right up front, and it's just different. It's recognizable.
And that being said, with someone with as much experience as you and been in the game so long, is there a certain tobacco that you find yourself gravitating towards?
I gravitate towards anything Nicaraguan, grown in Nicaragua.
Mm.
Okay.
That's your sweet spot.
Wrapper, yeah, because I'm not a big Sumatra fan.
Okay.
Wrapper, but this cigar is so good.
It is.
No, it is.
It is.
So, what would you say is the biggest difference between Nicaraguan and Dominican cigars?
Dominican has a more cedar taste to it. Some of them could be spicy. Some of them are more earthy, like a Davidoff. If you ever smoke Davidoff, they're musty taste to them. They just seem lighter all around. Anything Dominican. Nicaraguan tobacco to me is so much more complex than something grown in the Dominican Republic, although depends how they blend it.
That's true.
Very
Yeah.
true.
you know?
There's an art to that.
Yes.
Oh yeah. I've gone back and forth between Nicaraguan and Dominican cigars, and I don't think smoking Dominican cigars I've ever got that real rich flavor that you get when you smoke a Nicaraguan. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
Like when you really hit that, especially like a Nicaraguan puro where everything is Nicaraguan. That
Yeah, those can be a bit of a
Holy.
head knocker in a good way.
yeah, and you have to
Yeah.
be ready to smoke that. If you're a novice and you smoke that, you're gonna feel it.
Yeah,
You're gonna be dizzy.
chasing the sugar pack.
For real.
Or a Coca-Cola?
Or
Yeah.
it is a good trick. It is
Yeah.
a good trick.
It definitely is.
Yeah.
The Mexican Coca-Cola, real sugar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. We're going back to to kind of your history in the business, just because I mean you've been there
Yep.
so long. What do you think was? I know we kind of went with what was the biggest change. What do you think was the biggest like change in like production? Like when did you see it switch over to? Okay, everyone's going to Nicaragua now. Everyone's going to Dominican now. Like, was that a visual change? Like, could you see that happening, or was it just
Yeah.
kind of a
Probably the mid 2000s.
okay?
Like I said, back in 2006, I think Don Pepin was the big influencer of everybody changing and buying land in Nicaragua to grow this great tobacco.
Right.
I was a big Camacho fan, which is Honduran tobacco, Christian Aroa. Back in the day when the people just started going on the internet, his head marketing guy started a website called Social Cigar. It's like the Facebook for cigar smokers.
No kidding.
Huh.
That blew up. Didn't last long, but it blew up. And people who were on there, everybody sharing stuff. And I used to write reviews for them on the website.
That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
So that was a lot of fun. I wish that still existed, to tell you the truth.
How long did you do that for?
Probably 5 years,
Okay.
I'd say. Yeah.
Might be an idea we have to visit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
it was
world is cyclical, so
called Social
what's old is
Cigar.
new again.
What do you think was the best cigar you got to review in that 5-year period? If you, I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
The
but-
best cigar I reviewed on that was a Camacho Triple Maduro.
Man, it's a good cigar.
Ooh, that's a hammer.
But that back in the day, it was amazing.
It's like
Christian came up with the first cigar that had all Maduro tobacco. Filler, binder, and wrapper. All Maduro. And that cigar was amazing. Tasted like black licorice. It was sweeter, very refined though, but still full flavored.
Heavy hitter.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was so good.
Do you see any trends happening now? Like, I know we mentioned Nicaragua and Dominican Republic, but do you see maybe more cigars coming out of somewhere else?
This is going to lead into my next question. I like this.
I don't think so. To me, nothing can beat Nicaragua.
Okay.
I mean, look at AJ Fernandez. Look at how huge
They're killing it.
he
Oh, yeah.
he owns so much land, so many his factory is gigantic, and it keeps growing and growing every year.
Yeah, he's an absolute beast.
Yeah, and he makes a lot of cigars for a lot of other people,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
which is another.
that's the
amazing.
quiet part that they don't talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that being said, that kind of leads me to the next question I was going to ask you is there somewhere you'd like to see the industry go? Like some kind of change you would look forward to, or some kind of trend you want to see happen a little bit more often?
Yeah, less restrictions, less laws on cigar smoking.
Yeah.
They're really trying to kill the industry, in my opinion. And they've done studies. Cigars are relaxing. You're not going to get health problems from smoking 1 or 2 cigars a day.
You're talking from a
Is it-
legislative perspective, all the laws and restrictions.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
There's been a lot of that lately with the FDA trying to get involved, and
Mhm.
and to your point, their own. Like, I was reading it. You can find it online. I forget what the name of the article is now, but like they did a study to try and prove that cigars were as bad as any other tobacco, and it ended up going against them. So like
Exactly.
they never ended up using it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it actually proved that cigars are not detrimental to anyone's health, and they're actually
No.
I don't want to say healthy, but
Right, but they're not
mentally they are.
they're not as bad as people make.
And also, you don't get addicted
No.
to the nicotine from a cigar.
No.
I could go a couple days without smoking a cigar, and
Really?
I did.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't
I'd
smoke
say-
yesterday.
He said he could,
Good.
not that he would.
I get. Yep.
There's a big difference there.
Yeah,
I said
I did not smoke a single cigar yesterday.
But when you talk about
Still
addiction,
my
I would
heart.
disagree. There's 1 or 2 people
Any
at this
different?
table that I would disagree are addicted, but I'm not going to go there. Talk about that later.
That's a mental addiction, not a physical one.
Yeah.
Want
Not a
the
physical.
cigarette smokers are some of the toughest people ever, because it's like, you see Jack Frost sitting on a car, and you see a cigarette smoker outside freezing. When
Hell yeah.
they've got icicles coming out of their nose, but they're
we-
still there trying to smoke a cigarette.
We got into this a little bit on the last episode too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah,
Nah,
I've been there.
That's awful.
I was that person. That's why I don't do it anymore.
man.
That's it.
What about in terms of demographics? We're talking about, all kinds of cigar smokers. It's kind of like we touched on this before. Being in the cigar shop is kind of like the great equalizer. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor or you ride on a garbage truck. You're all the same. Are you finding that in terms of when you started to where we are now, the consumer, the demographic of the consumer, has it changed? Has it expanded? Is it the same core people?
Well, like you said, there's all different people who love cigars, love the camaraderie. If you come here, I've met you guys when I started working here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can't ask for any better friends.
Yeah.
You guys are great. I hang out here when I'm not working all the time.
Yeah.
We have a lot of fun.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Best people in the world. And
Totally.
I have really not seen much of a change in that area. I have to say, back in when I was smoking years ago, same deal.
Okay.
People all from different realms.
Different ages.
Yeah, different ages.
Same amount of
different-
women as before. Okay. I'm just asking. Curious.
I'd like to see more women get into cigars. A lot of them, they think it's a man's thing. I don't know. I really don't know.
There is that
There
stigma.
are some.
There is that stigma. I
Yeah.
do see it getting a little bit more popular with the women.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's getting there.
Connecticut's a
have
little rough. But.
Two here who smoke cigars,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
they love it. And why not?
Why not? Well, you guys like that chick in the WNBA, Kelsey Plum. She just put out her own cigar.
Oh no shit!
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
The expensive cigar.
So the WNBA is good for something.
Oh.
Oh, wow. All right. We just lost a couple viewers.
What, both of them?
Oh, wow.
I think my mom.
Someone had to go there.
No, I think a lot of them are maybe picking it up too because they see that their significant other, spouse, are enjoying it.
Right.
And then a lot of
Sure.
a lot of the events that we go to, are not only cigars, but like this, upcoming boat trip. It's music, it's bourbon, it's being together, it's dancing. It's
Right.
we have a DJ on the boat. So
You're going to dance?
I didn't say I was going to dance, but it depends on how much Heaven Hill Bill brings. But
Oh, I can
Yeah.
bring a bottle. I'd like to see that.
I
mean,
I got rhythm.
I'll tell you on that point. I thought definitely from how I got into it that my son was definitely going to follow in my footsteps and smoke cigars. Just because I love the regions, just like me and Bill bounce it all the time. I'm like, yo, did you have this? Did you have this? We go back and forth. Same with Cappy. I've given you two,
100%.
and it's like, I thought for sure he was going to follow me. And sure enough, it's my daughter that did. And she'll send me
Nothing wrong with
pictures.
that.
She'll send me pictures from Miami with her husband, and they're like, "Oh, what should I smoke today?" And it's
That's
cool. Good. I
That's
I
great.
enjoy it.
Yeah.
She's
And she's a doctor, so
Yeah.
he knows.
Yeah.
So
Well, I think that's the cool thing too. I mean, we talk about it a little bit with the community and us around here, but even just this, family. The whole Cuban cigar industry is built off of families, right? And
Yeah.
just passing it down. And
right.
it's a time passing. I don't know what the word I'm looking for is, but there's a tradition there. There's a bonding that happens.
it is.
Yeah.
We've talked about it, I think, on the previous podcast
Yeah,
too. That
Don't give her that one.
it's something that
Yeah.
brings everybody together. You talk, you share,
Yeah.
you open up a conversation.
Yeah.
And one thing I think people should know: the people who roll cigars,
I know.
do the sorting of the tobacco, it's mostly female
Yep.
Mhm.
population because they can sort the tobacco better. Their color eyesight is better.
Yep.
Their hands are better to
Yeah.
feel the tobacco.
oh yeah.
I know a couple really who have been rolling cigars down in Ybor City in Tampa, and they roll some good stuff. It's always perfect.
It's an art.
If you can ever get to Ybor City, by the way,
I love
Oh,
it.
that's the
Ybor,
place to
man.
go.
I was down there
in
last
Tampa.
year.
You know what's funny? You mentioned the women and cigars because when we went to Pro Cigar a few years ago, and we're in the room with the rollers, right? Mostly women, but there was like this one section where they get ready to put them in a box, and it's all women that are looking at them, and they're looking for uniformity in color, size, shape, and they're seeing nuances that I can't see. That's just a whole special skill set, and they're just banging them out. It's incredible to see. If you ever get a chance to visit a cigar factory, I highly recommend it. It's
Definitely
educational.
100%. I've been to Nicaragua twice, so it's great. Let's slam this thing in reverse real quick, because
let's talk about that while I try and figure out what the hell happened to the video.
Did it go off?
I think it did, but I think we're all right.
All right.
Well, I'll just start that back up again. And
this fucker, Cappy, remember in our last post, we were talking about unicorns. And sure enough, he just said, don't give your daughter this one. And you see what he gives me?
oh shit,
Fucking the Bahike.
What is it? Oh,
The
Hike.
I've never had one. I've been on a hunt for one.
There you go.
And obviously, people are trying to gouge your fucking eyes out for this thing.
$300.
Not today.
Not for me.
not today. My guy knows the guy, so
I know a guy.
you know
He
what?
got that on the beach in Cancun.
I would not know the difference.
Yeah.
But
Connecticut leaf.
I want a thanks, Cat. Thank you. That's awesome.
That's nice.
That's awesome.
Cheers,
I mean,
brother.
listen, we were just
I
talking
was
about
touched in a good
community
way.
and how we all kind of look out for each other and the community and all that kind of shit. And that just that proves it. We were talking about it last week. Cap comes in with this one and
Part of the course.
That's awesome.
Unicorns.
So as we talk about like camaraderie and just the cigar industry itself and how we take each other in, and when I first started smoking cigars, it was like I was on a cruise, like I said I think it was the first podcast, and I looked over at the bar and there was one there and the guy's like, oh, you want one? I said, yeah, and I'm by myself, and I was like, one of the first vacations I ever took, and I felt like a king. I'm smoking a cigar, I have my pina colada. I wasn't even drinking bourbon.
Oh my God.
And I'm sitting in the hot tub,
I'd
and I'm
pay
like,
to see that.
I'm sitting here like I'm the fucking man, and I feel great. First time I ever spent money on a cruise, and we're just sitting there. So when I got back, I was like, I really enjoy this, and I started doing it. And like I said in the last podcast, I spent a lot of time in Raul's backyard. Raul's from Lobo Ray's Kitchen. He's a member here, and I just said to myself, I want to start a club where we're all just regular guys coming together, drinking bourbon, smoking cigars, and just talking BS and just, actually sharing what cigar has been their favorite and try this and try that. And it's been working out great, and that's exactly what it is. It's just a club for us to get together, talk bullshit, go to different events and have a great time and just build on that brotherhood. So I was talking to some of the members today, and on this podcast, I think we're going to officially bring Dave Brown into the Alma de Hombre.
Alma de Hombre, baby.
Yeah. You're there with us. That's what it's about. And, officially, you get to pick your nickname. I'm not going to pick it for you. I know
you can't pick your own nickname. That's weird.
Yeah, kind of.
I know. I don't think you want this group picking the nickname for you.
Listen, I've been called some weird shit.
I'm trying to save you. And I know the talks are already around because he's already, pretty much on my own, but we wanted to officially do it on the podcast and say, welcome to the group. You're a great addition. You're, a good brother, and I love seeing you walk through the door. We have a good time. You can pick one of us to pick your nickname if you want.
Why don't we go with Animal?
I like that.
Oh, the drummer. I like Animal.
You got a tattoo.
I got the tattoo.
All right, done.
That's
Animal. Done.
Been done before. All right,
Animal.
there we go. Well, I appreciate that. I'm honored.
Bro.
I have a great time hanging out here, hanging out with all you guys. So it's that's awesome, man. I'm honored to be chosen.
You're more than welcome, bro. You've been a brother since you've been here, so it's only right.
He needs a coin.
Hey.
Oh, I have one.
He's got one.
I got one of those.
I'm telling you, he's in there. He's in there.
coin.
Here's the animal.
We just
Animal.
So we'll get you a shirt and on this podcast next time or a couple times from now, we'll get one made for you. And
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah.
Off we go.
I'm in.
and again,
What else, guys?
I don't know where we go from there. I don't know.
no, that's a good one.
Sing
That's a good
Kumbaya. What are we doing now?
Yeah, we could.
So, Bill, you ever think about? I mean, you've been in the industry forever. You ever think about maybe blending your own? Was that an opportunity you would look for? Maybe kind of create.
I love this question, and you don't even have to name the names because I know you probably know.
I helped blend a cigar.
Oh yeah, which one?
Really?
Oh shit!
I really don't want to get into it.
It's one of those.
I really don't want to get into it.
Maybe offline on our second.
I know you guys may have had it.
Oh yeah, we all had it.
Okay,
We've all had it. I know which one.
Well, I definitely have not.
I'm not.
No.
Not,
Oh man,
We're gonna leave it alone.
We'll talk about it offline.
It's weird.
That's like Jay's story.
but I
last
did
time.
help blend a cigar. It's an amazing cigar.
Oh, so good.
From
How was the process? If you don't,
just tasting different blends and blah blah blah, back and forth. And he's a little more of this, a little more of that. And
How long did it take you to finalize something?
probably almost 2 years, a year and a half.
See, and that's the big thing.
But that's quick.
That is quick. Because think about this, right? When you go to Nicaragua for the 2 times that I went and that you blend a cigar, it's not really blending a cigar because you're actually smelling the leaf and then trying to put it together, and that's bullshit. You're never going to
No.
So when I went with Pedro, he's like, no, take them and roll them up and smoke them. And that's what I was doing. And I rolled a pretty good cigar there and Hoya de Nicaragua. We got more of a taste of it when we went to DR, and they had these fucking plates of cigars, and it's like you don't even want to smoke anymore. There was like 100 on there.
Oh yeah,
but that's one day. Now you're talking about 2 years, right? And that's quick. So you got to think about 2 years. Oh, this blend is good, and then somebody goes, "Hey, why don't we try this?" And you put that in there. Oh, that's good. So it can be what 2, 3 years. Maybe?
Yeah, but you have to. You don't just sample one.
No,
you have to smoke at least 5 or 6 before you say, "Okay, this needs to be changed."
Yep.
Okay, this needs to be changed.
Yeah. So your finished product that we have here,
then you get 6 more cigars. No, still not good. You got to do this, do this. It takes a while.
Yeah, it's tedious.
Wow.
So I don't know if you can divulge this information. What blend did you end up going?
What
Can you give us a
country
wrapper?
is it from?
Can you give us a wrapper?
Nicaraguan. Connecticut broadleaf.
Okay.
Okay.
It's good. Oh man, is it good?
That narrows it down.
I mean, got my attention with those two. So
There I go asking bad questions.
Yeah.
that seemed like a pretty good question to me. I don't know.
No, it is. But
if you had the opportunity to do it again, would you go through the process again?
Oh, I would love to.
Yeah.
Love to. Yeah, I just need to find somebody who wants a cigar for
dude, that's low key. That's low key in the works. We got that coming. Trust me.
It's not low key anymore. Now it's out in the world.
What's out in the world?
I would love. I would love to do it. Put it that
both
way.
of our listeners are going to be asking about that. Yeah.
That's one of my.
Not the two that watch
That's your
WNBA.
unicorn?
No, it's something that I love to do. And
okay.
I would, I just love all the different tobacco and how it's blended and blah blah blah. Went to a blending seminar at the Davidoff factory in the Dominican Republic.
Oh, that must have been all.
Okay.
Learned a lot there.
Yeah.
I mean, that was back in 2008.
Nice.
I believe. Yeah. And went through the seminar for a week. Got my shitty certificate.
Wow.
But that was when Hanky Kellner was the master blender there. Now that guy is amazing. He knows everything about tobacco.
Damn.
He knows everything about growing it, about what exact amount of nutrients should be in the soil, about how to make things consistent. And Davidoff was the top producer of cigars where everything always came out the same.
Because
back in the day.
Isn't that the hedge though? It's like we go through the whole process of creating a cigar and blending it and we have it and it works, right?
Yes.
But the whole packaging of that cigar, all the tobacco that you use, the binder, the filler, the wrapper, that's finite. So if it's a brand or a label or a particular expression, if you will, of the cigar, and it's got legs, it's like, okay, you go through 2-3 years, you're probably through all the original batch. So it's like, how do you bridge that? How do you maintain that experience for the consumer, knowing that your original batch of tobacco is gone, but you want this particular?
Yeah, because especially, I mean, it's kind of like wine and grapes. Like every year is going to be, every crop is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah,
They were consistent though.
that's art.
Yeah.
For
That's
at
awesome.
least,
That's
Yeah, that
you know,
for
for
me,
a long
that's
time.
art.
Very much so in science.
Inside.
Yep.
A lot of science.
Well, I mean, the two do merge a lot in the world. You know, like art and science play a big part in each other. Very cool. And Hanky he's with somebody else now, right?
Yeah, I'm not sure who he's with.
I can't
now.
remember. Yeah,
And
I
his
can't
son
remember.
was at Davidoff too, and he left. But I'm not sure who the blender is there now, the master blender. But his seminar was great.
What was that?
When
What
I
was
there
that
in
like?
2008. You learned everything from start to finish.
Oh man.
How many people rolled the cigar, how they grew it, blah, blah, blah. 300 people from one cigar, start to finish.
Yeah.
It's at least 300 people
That's insane.
Oh, yeah.
who touch that tobacco.
What is
It's nuts.
1,000
insane.
or something like that.
And then you
Yeah.
think like
Cigar.
Yeah.
you can buy this for like $12.
Yeah.
Like
Unbelievable.
It doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
like it's funny. People bitch about the price of cigars and stuff.
Right.
Like when you
Oh.
actually think about the time and the effort and the man hours, the people that go into
Oh.
making a cigar, it's insane.
Yeah, and it's not like the tobacco in this, they grew it last year.
Oh no, it's aged for years.
This is years old.
Yeah.
You know, not everybody understands, you know, the craftsmanship, the time that it
it
goes
takes.
to create this.
Bill, do you know who blended the Garcia?
Jaime, probably his father also.
Oh man, that's
Yeah.
probably one of my all-time favorites.
And another great cigar that they blend is Tatuaje.
Oh, dude.
Pete Johnson.
Forget about
Oh, I
it.
love
yeah.
Tatuajes. I didn't know they were
Tatuajes.
blended.
Oh,
Pete's
yeah.
married to Yanni, Don Pepin's daughter.
Oh.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Oh, they
okay.
got married years
know that.
ago.
Family.
I've met all of them.
He's a character.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, I love Tatuaje stuff.
Oh man, so good.
yeah, I remember Pete back in the day. He was from Maine, got a lot of tattoos. And then he's, I'm gonna name my cigars Tatuaje,
Yep.
tattoo in
Yeah.
Spanish.
They looked at him like
Yeah.
you're crazy.
Yeah, but he met Don Pepin down in Miami. They got along so well.
And
He started making his cigars.
off you
And
go.
then, yeah,
That's awesome.
crazy.
I
That's
remember
cool.
seeing
nuts.
an ad when I first started smoking, and I'm like, "That looks like a cool guy, man." So you try those cigars just because he was the picture. I mean,
Yeah,
it was
yeah.
you know,
He
it
was
was
the guy
just
there.
you know, so
Yeah, and I was good friends with Pete back in the day. I haven't talked to him in a long time, but we used to see each other every once in a while, and he loved what I was doing. I loved what he was doing,
Nice.
and we talked about it a lot, and it was great.
Bill, put you on the spot here, Bill. Let's just say it's a normal day. You get to go in the humidor. What's your go-to cigar? I mean, if you just had to go in and just pick one go-to. I know you smoke a lot, but you got to have one that you know.
It's like your
Well,
favorite kid.
My favorite. Well, I've been telling people for years I don't have a favorite cigar.
All right, let's put
Smoke
actually.
whatever I'm in the mood for, whatever I'm thinking is good to smoke for what I'm either drinking or what I'm not drinking.
Okay, like I said, that's an every
right
Wednesday.
now-
So what are we doing?
Right now, I would go for an El Pupo.
Let's
Okay.
all right. Let's put it this way. Shit hits the fan. Cigars are outlawed. You have to stock up. What are you buying boxes of?
Nice, great question.
A lot of everything.
God damn it!
My mild, medium, fuller body stuff. Mostly Nicaraguan.
All right, I walked
yeah.
into that. I walked into
Yeah.
that one. I guess.
Yeah.
Again, if cost wasn't an issue, I'd probably go El Popo too. But
Yeah.
again, probably my everyday go-to
Well-
would be a Herrera Esteli by Drew Estate.
Well, that's a good one.
Just
Another
solid,
great cigar.
You know, just
Yeah.
solid. You know what you're getting every time you're smoking
Yep.
it. And think,
Boom, boom.
Cappy, what about you?
You know, if I've said it once, I've said it 1,000 times. My favorite cigar is the LFD Chapter 1. Just something about that. It's been around forever. The chisel tip, that's mine. I would award
That's
that.
cool.
Not an easy cigar to get,
No, it is not.
Yeah.
but
Blaze?
If I was running in that humidor and trying to grab, it's either, it's either going to go to the left and grab the League of Nines or the LFD cabinet number 5. That's phenomenal.
yeah,
I love that. I've
A lot
got
of
2 of
people-
those in my bag right now.
Man, they're amazing.
a lot of people don't know about those. Dominican cigar, oily wrapper,
Really was.
great flavor, great complexity.
That's what drove me to it was the wrapper. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's
Man.
weird. It's got no band on it. There's no nothing. It's just
Nope.
Yep.
and you just see that dark, oily, like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it
It's an
looks
unbanded
wet.
cigar.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it
it's
does
just-
look wet.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah.
oh,
like
I
intimately.
loved that. Yeah, and it smoked really, really well.
Yeah.
If there was a confetti cake one, I'd get that. No, I'm just kidding.
We're about to end this podcast for good.
And we're going to commercial break. Is there a commercial break on the podcast?
There is today.
No commercials.
We'd like to thank our sponsor, Advil.
And Betty Crocker.
Too
man.
funny.
Wow. Inside story, ladies and gentlemen. Inside.
Oh, that's good
my.
shit. That's
Wow. From left field.
Yep. There you go.
Oh.
good shit. All right, man. Well, Bill, any last closing statements or remarks? I was waiting. I was waiting for it.
That is
Yeah,
phenomenal.
I do. I want to see Rich retrohale.
Oh shit!
No.
All right, let's see if I
You don't have
do it.
to.
I mean, if I die, I die.
He does.
Not gonna happen.
I think that is a. I think that's a great place
I'm not good at wrestling.
to call it a day. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. This has been fun. Bill, thank you so much,
Yeah,
man.
thank
It's a
you.
pleasure
I had
talking
a
to you
blast.
always. I know we're going to just continue
Yeah.
smoking and drinking and talking once
That's
we
it.
stop recording.
Stop in, Mickey Blake, see
So,
Bill.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. We will see you again on the next episode of the Ash Chat Podcast. Thank you so much.